Hi, my name is Brent Peterson. I'm the host of Talk Commerce. We've compiled the most watched clips on YouTube from 2025. I hope you enjoy them and there may be some surprises. First up is Elizabeth Green talking about AI video for Amazon and how it's democratizing access to video advertising. Democratizing might be just the word of the year, and Elizabeth shows us exactly why that matters for e-commerce brands on Amazon. Commerce, 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 commerce. Are there back-end tools that help you as an advertiser as well in terms of AI and learning about some of those that data that you could use for yourself?
Yeah, so they're starting to integrate AI into that. The one really interesting thing that they're pushing into is an AI generation tool for video ads. So like a lot of times, like it's very common to develop a video creative for like other platforms, and like UGC content does very, very well. But oftentimes like getting that creative is very difficult for brands, and then even more so for beginner brands. So the one thing that historically Amazon has done in their advertising is really like democratize access to things that could have been like very difficult to get into. So the barrier to entry for say like running video or like you can start, I think the lowest bid you can set is like 2 cents on Amazon, and you can set even $1 budget.
Next, Adam Callanan dives into why AI coding isn't the silver bullet we think it is. Sure, it's fast, and here's the catch. AI reduces everything, and you absolutely need humans in the loop to make sure that we are inside the guardrails. More speed isn't always better.
Because look, from my history, I'm a very efficient operator. Like I want it as lean as humanly possible. I want to squeeze as much water from the rock as physics allows. AI coding development seems like a great way to do that. Like we have a team of developers. If we can get 3 teams of developers worth of code from 1 team of developers, why wouldn't we want to do that? The problem, which you just perfectly exemplified, is that the AI doesn't just go in and do the one thing that you're trying to get it to do. It kind of does that. Maybe it's correct, maybe it's not. You have to double and triple and quadruple check it. And then it maybe goes and messes with this thing over here that's completely unrelated. And again, like we're layering math on math and doing complex things. That can't happen. So it's just not to a point yet. I mean, I think in a silo, there are incredible use cases for it that will exist and continue to develop inside of Pentane.
Elijah Casabo from Vidovo breaks down why follower counts don't matter. What matters? Engagement that actually converts. Comments beat followers any day of the week.
I personally look at the comments. What are people actually saying about this creator? Are they engaged with her video? Are they like listening to the video? Are they trashing on her? Like, are there any comments at all? Like, what are people actually engaged? I think engagement beats followers any day of the week. I have friends with hundreds of thousands of followers who just don't have any engagement, right? Because they have followers for the wrong reasons. They built the wrong audience maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So you need to look at those, like who has a legit community. And I think that goes beyond followers. Yeah, followers are great. But I think comments and likes and all the engagement metrics beat out followers any day of the week.
Drew Chambers.
You have a very finite window of attention. You're trying to mimic, an in real life experience as much as possible in the digital space. And so having something that is extremely performant and responsive to a customer is key. But beyond that, from a technical SEO standpoint, we know that Google and all the major search engines, and now, ChatGPT and the AI search elements are going to prioritize things like core web vitals, right? So think, largest contentful paint and, a layout shift and interaction to the next pane. All of those pieces are really sort of table stakes right now. And so the more complex that you're trying to make your technology stack, inevitably you're adding latency to the equation.
Let's get straight to the point. Speed matters. The more complex you make your tech stack, the more latency you add to the system. Core Web Vitals aren't just metrics. They impact your bottom line and AI search visibility.
I think when you think about the impact of now, call it Chinese made goods made in Hong Kong and Macau. And you start to think about, okay, now that strategy shifts because it went from 150% tariff which, you know, became an immediate shock to the entire world, right? And then it leveraged its way down to 30%. As you think about the percentages and the impacts, and more importantly, what that means to a brand, those duty advantages of bringing goods into a certain market like Mexico, where you may have had these advantages in these lanes of trade, they shut pretty quickly. So I think that was the first step, is brands would quickly understand, okay, if I'm bringing goods into a market and I have a 30% tariff and I plan on selling that worldwide, what does that mean to the profile of what I currently do? Do I need to just uplift my prices by 30%? The answer is no. The answer is, let's understand what the overall mix of profile it is that you're selling on your web store today. Let's understand and build out an average so that, yes, you're keeping your business whole. You're running the same profitability figure that you had in the past prior to the, you know, the tariff uncertainty or change, should I call it, that we've had. And let's continue to grow the business. So I think for many brands, whether you were importing directly from China to the US, China through Mexico to the US, China through Canada to the US, there was always a strategy and a cost impact that we needed to look after with the brands. And that's something that we micromanage together to make sure they continue to scale and grow in a profitable manner.
Finally, Udian Bose from NetElixir shares his philosophy on AI and digital marketing. Fail faster and learn why. Speed up your learning cycles, not just your execution. I think failing faster is such a good moniker for every person, especially in the marketing realm, maybe not in the athletics realm. Although if you look at some of our professional sports teams, they're really good at failing faster. But in the digital marketing space, failing faster means that you've learned something about why it failed and you can do the next one better. Give us some background about why you focused on failing faster.
I have to sort of trace that roots back to the bingo business that I built. I didn't know as much, right? So, I mean, I was starting with a clean slate, which was exciting because I could really test things and come up with the hypothesis, etc., etc. And there were like relentless failures, probably about fail 20 times and get one win. But that one win gave you so much happiness. It's really even difficult for me to express in words.